A man woke up 90 years too early. Everyone else was still in hibernation. He tried to restart the hibernation pods, but they didn't respond, and oxygen was rapidly being drained. He desperately tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Luckily, the pod malfunctioned and opened automatically, allowing the man to escape. Next, he tried to send a distress signal to Earth, only to find it would take 19 years to reach its destination. The fastest reply would take at least 55 years. He went to the control room for help, but his access was denied. So he found the hammer and tried to force his way in, but the door was extremely strong. He tried every method, yet still couldn't open it. In despair, Jim unexpectedly saw a human figure. He ran excitedly, only to discover it was just a robot. The man was utterly hopeless, reluctantly accepting his fate of growing old alone. But he didn't want to die aimlessly, so he stopped adhering to rank restrictions. He moved into the luxurious rooms, freely enjoyed all the facilities, and indulged in fine dining at the high-class restaurant. However, after a year of this life, Jim grew bored. The prolonged solitude nearly drove him mad. He put on his spacesuit and drifted into deep space. Looking at the darkness before him, the man couldn't help but shed tears. Compared to the glittering stars, he was as tiny as a speck of dust. Jim saw no hope, which made him consider suicide. All he had to do was press a red button, and he would be swept away by the airflow, ending his life completely. But Jim ultimately couldn't muster the courage. The fear of death overcame his inner loneliness. It was this hesitation that led him to meet the woman who captivated him. After that, he often watched the woman. A terrible idea formed in his mind. If he woke her, he wouldn't be alone, but it would ruin her life. He went to ask the robot, but it just stared at him. One day, he shaved his beard and cut his long hair, then brought tools to her hibernation pod. As the woman was about to awaken, his expression immediately turned to fear. He knew this was like committing murder, so he quickly ran back to his room. Because of his cowardice, he dared not end his own life, yet destroyed a stranger's existence. Complex emotions made him unusually tense, but the mistake had already been made, irreversible. He quietly approached the ship's hall and pretended to encounter the bewildered woman by chance. Facing her questions, he led her to the control room and informed her they had 89 years left before reaching their new home. Unable to accept this outcome, the woman frantically searched for her own stasis pod, but the man, following close behind, grabbed her arm and stopped her, delivering news that plunged her into despair.